Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
It was a clear circle.
It was a clear circle.
My name is Sarah.
My name is Mimi.
Zoe.
And I'm Buana.
And we have been doing this little mini series, just going through each of the boys while this is still, roughly the beginning of our podcast episodes, and just talking about what we love. But every single one of these wonderful, beautiful, amazing men.
Just refer to them as men. They
Yeah.
are no longer boys. They've gone from boys to men.
Yeah, men.
Sarah, she full men.
How about we have Miyaka start?
We're talking about
Park
Jimin today.
Yeah, Park
Yeah.
Jimin.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if you can redeem.
I don't need to redeem anything.
Go back
people.
to the time when
I
you
don't
were
need to
in
redeem
love.
anything. I am. Listen.
What made you Jimin? And what made you Jim out?
Oh.
Love it, Sarah.
Okay. So Jimin.
What's his name? What's his name, Mimi? What's his full name?
Park Jimin.
Okay.
Park fine as hell Jimin.
Wow, okay.
So Park Jimin. Listen.
I'm listening.
Oh my God.
It's a podcast.
For those who know,
ears?
does anybody know keto? Keto was trying to watch the video, and then his left eye was trying to watch the lyrics, and he got nauseous.
And you almost threw up.
That's what happened. See, I was trying to watch Jimin and then watch J-Hope with my left eye, and I got nauseous. That's what had happened.
So she decided to go sideways.
So I'm going to just keep it real with my audience, because we all about that, right? Mm-hmm. Look, this is about Park Jimin, but just to clear my name, Hobie snatched my soul. Okay, I said it. He snatched my soul. And I tried to come clean with my group, my friends, my family, and say, listen, J-Hope snatched my soul.
No.
You know what they did? They pulled a Daisha tie.
No.
They pulled a Daisha tie.
No.
They pulled a yogi with the long sword and cut my neck off.
Pause.
Pause.
That is not how it happened.
You want to hear the truth?
Army?
Family, we will tell you the truth.
Let's
Want to hear it?
explain.
Here it go.
We told you better call Jimin right now and tell him what's going on.
Yes, we
I'm
did
not
that.
cheating.
No, wait.
I'm not cheating.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
It was a long
Remember, you are headless.
process. It was a long process
Mm-hmm.
of her slowly going down that rabbit hole and us slowly trying to pull her back, saying, "Hey, so we're noticing. Hey, so what?
She
You
was
haven't
sneaking
come
out
to
of
us
Jimin's
about
house
Jimin
at night
in a
and
while."
knocking over to Hobie's, and I said, you can love who you love, maybe, but you better tell
To
Jimin.
be honest, so we noticed it at first, and then she was in denial, and then it progressed to her being in secret truth with herself, but still trying to be in denial with everybody else. And we were like, we calling you out now, Mako. We see it. No, y'all don't. I don't know what y'all talking about. No, we see it, girl. We see it. Yeah. And then it kept going.
It actually took the better part of a year. I want to say it approached 6 months. And then in the Bon Voyage and our trip to Dallas, you broke.
Yeah.
You broke. I think it was the pressure of all of us being together for a solid week. And then you broke.
Store.
You pulled the mask off and you were like, well, look, I'm going to break it down.
She
you
was
done broke
free
me
to
down.
finally admit. That's all we wanted.
And then you just went like,
I told her she
be
had to put
honest.
her money where her mouth is.
and she spent, a crap load on Hobie.
And I also spent a crap load on
No.
Reconciliation.
It was
It did not.
Okay,
I
so
still spent-
hold on. We went to
Not guilt buying.
We went to that store. You'll see in our Bon Voyage. We went to that store 5 times in one day or so, right? And every time it was mainly Hobie stuff, Mong stuff that she got. And then the next trip to Dallas is when she was like, you know what? I got some Mong stuff. I should get some Jimmy stuff.
And I did. I bought a lot of chimney stuff.
And you know what,
chimney
Hobie?
stuff.
All right. So now this is your opportunity to spread your Park Jimin love.
Now that we got that out the way.
What
we're
made
here to
you
talk
love?
about
Because I
Jimin.
remember you when you had twinkles in your eyes and everything.
did.
Every time you looked at Jimmy, he's so
did.
beautiful, he's so
So
graceful.
I'm gonna give this to you. So many moons ago, when I fell in love with BTS and I was jamming to them, and you came to me, and if you guys tune into our channel,
Yes.
our Army channel on YouTube.
Worldwide Army TV.
You will know my story of when I fell in love with BTS and I became Army, and my sister came to me and said, "Hey, but do you know them? Have you seen them?" And then she introduced me to them, and I said, "Hey, who's this one?" And she said, "Oh, that's Jimin. She was actually a Jungkook stan." And then when I was like, "Hey, who's this?" And then her eyes twinkled. And that's when she noticed Jimin. And she got the sparkle in her eyes. You take it from there.
It's hard not to get a sparkle in your eye when you're looking at Jimin. Who don't have a sparkle? We got the spark and the cold. Jimin is a wonderful... Jimin is like... I was trying to figure out if I could put him in one word, it would be like silk. Jimin is like silk, the finest of the finest silk. He's strong but delicate. He's beautiful. He's extremely gifted in the art of dance. He has a wonderful, beautiful voice. And then you wrap that. It's just like silk. I don't know any other way to
Milk chocolate.
He milk chocolate.
Melted milk chocolate. I think is where she's going when you melt it down. And it's, oh my.
Something that I really love about Jimin is, of course, all of our boys are charming and devilish in their own ways.
Ooh.
Jimin's charm, though, is like so entirely his own. There is something about Jimin's charm, and I can't think of any other way to describe it.
That's what I was gonna say. You can't think of another
really
word. Charm is all you can put
pulls
on
people
it.
in. I mean, how many
It's like
videos
charm
have
on
you
steroids,
seen?
though. It's like charm
Yes,
on
it is
charm on crack.
Something on a
It's like
different
charm on
world.
crack.
How many completely straight men on YouTube have just made videos of them like going down the whole like I've Jimin, I wasn't even my choice. I watched a video of Jimin
Like,
and I
Jimin,
can't
where'd
stop.
you come from? What's happening?
No, I'll
right
do you
now?
one better. How many couples and the
Yeah.
wife
Yes.
has no problem with her husband saying, "Look, not my fault. I can't take my eyes off this young man."
He's a beautiful.
And
he's a
women
beautiful
and their
human
wives
being.
are like, "I understand, babe. I understand."
It's not even just his looks either. And that's what I
It's the
really
way
mean
he
about his
moves
charm.
and his-
There's something about him that just pulls you in.
He's
I
like
think
silk. I'm telling you, he's like, he feels good when you put him on.
His, like,
he feels good when you just look at him.
his charm and wanting
Oh,
to
sorry.
befriend you is just so sincere. Like when he puts like his love out onto a camera, I know he knows that he's broadcasting to millions upon millions of people, but it feels so genuine that even then he really does want to be friends with you. It's like this real pure puppy charm.
Puppy charm.
But let me tell you one. Let me
pulls
do
you in.
from my spin, and I think we're just talking. We're not even going in order anymore. But he's like silk, and he has that charm on steroids, and but then he has those mitts that he can put on. And we've all seen that over the years in him. And I at one point thought that he had lost that internally. But you really never lose that in you. Even with the softer side that we have seen in recent months, almost to a year of him. And I realized the other day because I was watching a run. And I don't know if it's a run that they've done recently where they were playing tennis or something. But
he's
or the one right
extremely
before
competitive.
that. But he reared back and he raised his hand like, "Oh, I'm finna hit something, or I'm finna hit this ball, or I'm finna." And I saw
very
that
passionate.
in him again,
He's so
like that
extremely
rough or
competitive.
tough in him again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, but he can turn like that. He can bring that back out of him again." But then you can also see him on a photo shoot where he is just like that feather wisping through the air, falling to the ground, and it's
That was
He
beautiful.
goes back
Yes,
and
I
forth
saw
so
that.
so he has
flawlessly.
those both, and it's like this little
He's
here.
just
You
captivating
just
in
like
so many
wow.
different ways.
That's the word, captivating.
Yeah.
God dang it. He's just...
We are using the most beautiful
We need
words.
a thesaurus.
Yeah.
With thesaurus, you can mark it at thesaurus with just the two sides of Jimin on the front of that thesaurus,
Yeah,
and
you
you will
can-
you will sell that. Wow, it
Everybody
will be
knows
gone.
Jimin usually first and foremost for his dance and his looks, but I would say that at the beginning, especially, I was also just really charmed by his voice. Like, I feel like it's
Yeah.
very, like, unique. Like, I can always hear Jimin very specifically when he's singing in songs.
I think when you talk about Jimin, you have to talk about his voice because we know that has been a struggle for him,
Yes.
right? not that he cannot sing, is that
His confidence.
he doesn't feel that he can sing to his level of standard. We think all of us think it sounds beautiful, but it kind of goes down to what he thinks, right?
Right.
And so we can try to build his confidence and boost his confidence as much as we can, but it really is how he feels internally. And I honestly think that's the problem. I think once he embraces that he sounds just fine, that he will get the level of standard that he's desiring. But it does come down to confidence.
It comes down to confidence, but it also comes down to the boys to man factor also. Because he started at a very young age, and males more than females go through that transition in their voice. And you have to take that into a factor, especially with Jimin. I think that happened more so with him and was a struggle more so with him than with the others. And I don't think he was prepared for that. I don't think I was going to say industry, but I don't think his label was prepared for that as much and focused in on that as much. And because it became a struggle for him early on, and they did not take care of that. And this is just me on the outside looking in. They did not take care of that from the very beginning like they should have. He did not know how to take care of that and work on that as hard. He wanted to, didn't know how. And he needed to. At the very beginning, he was not the best singer. Y'all will learn this about us if you have not since the beginning. If you have not been watching us or tuning into our channel or our podcast, we are Army true to the core. Yeah, we do not mask ourselves as far as our love for them. Just like a family, we can look in the mirror and judge ourselves and our guys honestly. So we will be very candid. So feel free to comment and talk with us candidly about things. From the very beginning, he was not the best, and he struggled. And he struggled not just because of confidence from my perspective, but because his voice was starting to go through a transition from the very beginning. He was not the best. He needed more training. He kind of knew this, and to me, did not know how to voice it to the label like he needed to, and they weren't ready for it. I don't think they handled it as well as they should, or did not have the financing and the means to handle it. But then as he began to grow and began to have a bigger voice and to ask for help and want to work harder, because I love that about him. They all are hard workers.
They really are.
They all are. I think Jin is a seriously hard worker when it comes to, I need something to improve upon, I'm going to dig in and work. Jimin is just as a hard worker.
Yeah, he is.
He is going to dig in where his voice is concerned, and he did from the very beginning. He wanted to. He struggled with it.
It was a huge frustration for him.
Exactly. And I think a lot of it had to do with confidence, but a lot of it had to do with the transition in that male voice. And it was a struggle. That voice he had from the beginning, 2 years into it, 3 years into it, and it changed. It changed for him as a male, and that transition of a male, his aging voice, and the voice he has now, is perfection. It is perfection.
It's like he got his mojo back.
Yeah.
So to me, in the beginning,
and it's trained. It's a trained voice. Excuse me. That's what I want to say. It is a trained voice. As then, it was not trained. It was not trained. It was not trained. It is trained now. It was a huge
source of frustration for him, and we felt that. And we saw that, and it hurt us because we saw you hurting because of it. And so I was just, that stage was rough for me because it was rough for you. You know, we're not expecting, like Bawana said, perfection out of anybody. You're going to have your good days and your bad days, but you internalized it. You internalized it, and you made it a huge part of who you were. And that I didn't like. I didn't like.
And Jimin's so transparent with his feelings. You can truly see how much it was hurting him.
And that wasn't the only thing hurting Jimin. Jimin was hurting from his voice changing. Jimin was hurting from his body image struggle. Jimin was hurting from his image struggle, and we watched him go through that. And a lot of young armies were not understanding what the heck he was going through. They were, because a lot of young armies were going through a lot of the similar things, and their emotions were going through with his emotions. And it was all over the board. It was all over the board at the young stages of Army and at the young stages of BTS. And we watched Jimin go through that. And we went through it with you, brother. We went through it with you. And from boys to the man that you are now, we are just, we were with that struggle with you. And we're loving where you are now. I personally am loving the Jimin that has become, what I like to say, you are not afraid to kind of put yourself first. You're not afraid to show the Jimin that you are meaning to be now, and I love that. Keep doing you. Please keep doing you.
His new confidence and like how obvious it is how much he loves himself now, it just makes him so much more beautiful. It makes us so much more happy for him, because again, he's just so transparent. You know exactly what he's feeling. Like I don't think he can even control it, like how transparent or expressive he is. But because of that, seeing how truly happy he is now and like how more loving he is with himself, it really like brightens up my day when I see how happy he is now compared to when he was like struggling through these things and trying to perform at the same time. It really makes me happy to see his progress, and I think that he really models that kind of progress, especially with body image for the boys the most, because at least it was most public, his struggle with his body image and the problems that he had with that, and just having his struggle publicized obviously was hard for him, but it did like model very well, I think, for the rest of the industry to show that that kind of body image is not just on women. It also affects men in the industry.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that was very like not taboo, but it was very not spoken about, because it's already not spoken about within like the females of the K-pop industry. Like they don't talk about body image because it's just a taboo topic for them. They don't want to face the reality of how unhealthy it is. But then I think it showed even more that it's so strong, it affects like both men and women.
I was watching a TikTok the other day, and it was her whole thing goes into, it's all about K-pop idols, and this particular one was about 10 male idols who have the smallest waist.
Yes.
And I had to comment, I'm like, why is this even a thing?
It's not.
Why is this even a thing? I was like, body image is a serious struggle for K-pop idols. This is one you could have passed over. Like, that's not. Who needs to be proud of having the smallest waist as a male idol?
You're perpetuating the stigma.
You're perpetuating the stigma. And I was the only one who said something opposite of what the theme was, but I was just like, why is this even a thing?
Yeah.
We want, especially in ARMY, because I can only speak about our fandom, because I don't really know much about the others. But we struggle. One of the biggest things is loving yourself for who and what you are. And I'm sorry, everybody's not going to be a size 2. And I want Jimin to know that whether you're a size 2 or a 15 or whatever the sizes go, we love you. But you have to be happy with you.
Yeah.
You know, you have to like what you look like.
Yeah.
Regardless of how we feel.
Yeah, but I'm really proud of Jimin for overcoming that. And these days, what I'm loving is just him. Like, we've really seen him go that transformation. And Jimin now is just like a bright light, just bringing everyone
he's
in.
Added a layer. The layer that I've seen on Jimin is sophistication. I feel like he's a lot more sophisticated.
He's a gentleman.
That was Zoe.
And I mean, let's talk about how, like, again, back to his charm, especially I think it really shined when they started doing more promotions in the US in the past couple of years. Like, let's talk about him on James Corden, on like how even though his English is not on the same level as Namjoon, he's still
Papa Mochi.
is like captivating people.
Baby Mochi.
Yeah, so Jimin, like, on promotions like James Corden, he can't even speak English that well, but still, he has this personal connection. Like, not just with him, but with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Like, with everyone he meets, he just immediately befriends them. They can barely communicate with each other, but
Ashton
still.
Kutcher.
Let me tell you something.
Just picked him up and he was like...
Let me tell you something else about Jimin that I've noticed over the years. That I don't really hear people talk about. Jimin is extremely intuitive.
Yes.
And he's extremely observant. I don't know if you've noticed that about him, but I've noticed that about him. He can read a room. He can read a person. And I've noticed that about him. He's extremely intuitive and very observant. He always has his eyes going around the room. He is very well aware of everything that's going on around him.
Yes, for sure. And I think that he uses that, I don't really think he consciously uses it to advantage, but it's just so natural for him to tune into the mood of the room and just kind of slip right in and make everybody feel comfortable. I think he is just truly, truly a people person.
Like, no doubt.
He is.
No doubt.
And he is not even, I just love this about him. He is the least shy member about like wanting attention. But the way that he does it, like traditionally people look down on the idea of like seeking attention, right? But the way that Jimin does it is just makes you like want to give him more attention. Again, I keep comparing him to a puppy. It's like he's so obvious about how much attention he wants that it's just endearing.
But I
It's not
think because
annoying
his
at all.
brothers have accepted it over the years so much, they don't mind it.
Yeah.
And they've
They
accepted it.
definitely
We've watched
dote on him. Yeah.
them accept it. We find it adorable and endearing. So,
Right.
yeah, it's very acceptable. And we love it. And we
I
expect
love
it.
that for him.
It's very
that-
that's a part of the charm.
How Jimin acts is not completely traditional with like traditional masculinity, right? And I love that the boys created this environment for him where he's allowed to just be himself,
exactly.
to like whine and like want attention and just act however he wants to act to make himself feel comfortable. Just every time I see Jimin, I just instantly smile. I mean, with any of them, I instantly smile. But there's something warm that I feel about Jimin in particular.
I love how over the years, he has made the biggest transition as far as his outward appearance. When you go back and you look at the stages of Jimin as far as his
think
outward,
of No More Dream versus Serendipity.
as far as his outward appearance, the stages that he's gone through, and that was a part of him coming into his own, I believe, his outward appearance. And now that he can just, and you're like, where was he going with that? Now I know Tay has done some things, but Jimin, what I'm seeing in my head right now is when he had a scarf on his head tied underneath his chin.
Oh yeah, that's when they were doing
it was a shoot of some sort. Not maybe 3 months ago. I don't know. Where was he? And I thought this was behind the scenes, right? No, this was put out there. Like I don't even know where he was going with that. But his outward appearance, he just is very comfortable with doing him now, and I love that. So as far as his talent goes, we have watched his dance performances, just his classic dance performances. We've enjoyed them, brother. We've enjoyed them. They make you speechless now. But your stage, the way you entertain us, your stage performances.
He has a large stage presence, period.
Jimin
You do.
can fly.
You do. You
Jimin
do.
can
He was
fly.
also made for the stage. I
Jimin,
mean,
You
I'm
were
100%
definitely
sure.
think of his
Yeah.
background, right? For for armies that may not know, Jimin grew up completely in a dance school for interpretive dance, and I fully believe that even if he didn't achieve fame through BTS, I think he would have still achieved fame just through his dance.
It's like if you could ever be entertained watching a human being fly, it's Jimin. That's him. He's
And there's
flight.
something very elegant about his movements, just like what Mimi said. Like his dance style is just so elegant and smooth. It does feel like silk.
So I watched a video on because it was a dance practice, and people were saying that Jimin was a beat off, and Army said no. He's not a beat off. Actually, he's a beat on, and everybody else is a beat off. And she slowed the music down, and true enough, he was the one who was the beat on, and everybody else was the beat off. That's how musically inclined he is.
I mean, how is the professional one trained to beat off? No, he wasn't.
No, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
If you just look at it, he's the one who's opposite of everybody else. But when you slow the music down and you listen to it, he's the one who's the beat on.
What I meant is the common sense would be the one that's professionally trained is not the one that's the beat off of people.
He's just that musically inclined. Even when you see them do routines as a group, his interpretation of that routine is always just smoother.
He's like fused with the rhythm.
So honestly, that's not where I was going with that.
Oh.
What I meant was,
My bad.
so when we do this move, Jimin does it a bit, and when we do that move, Jimin does it a bit. And when you just do the breakdowns, when they have the what do we call it?
medley.
The medley. When they do the medley and Jimin and everybody just does their own thing.
I just want to point out that since we've been talking about Jimin, you have growled about 7 times.
I need to take it down a notch. She's been furrowing her
You
brow.
have literally growled about 7 times.
She's been taking deep breaths.
Have I? Oh.
You need confirmation. You need to confirm.
I did. I had to look over at her and see, because she's usually the one that calls me down on that.
I'm just waiting.
All right, so that's what I meant. I meant like with the medleys, like when they at the concerts, when they go off on the medleys, like Jimin gets into his own head. Like two of the individuals I watch the most, or who stands out the most for me, and like just gets really hyped off the crowd, is Jimin and Hobie.
Mm-hmm.
Cookie
For
does
sure.
too. Cookie almost looks like he's like at a rock concert, 'cause like he just loses it like on acid or something. I don't know, but then like Jimin and Hobie, they just like their talent just shines through. And Jimin, oh my God, his moves just
Real sensual.
you
He
what?
has a lot of sensual energy naturally. I would say that
Yeah.
almost like the most obvious out of the group is he just has an energy naturally, even when he's not on stage.
And he has actually perfected that over the years.
Yes.
I don't know if you do that in the mirror and practice, but
It's the eyes for me. It's the eyes for me. His eyes really does tell a story when he's dancing.
But
It's the
Zoe,
eyes.
yeah, it's not the eyes. Okay, go ahead, Zoe.
Okay, so Jimin is melted milk chocolate wrapped in silk, shaped like a puppy. But I've always, from the get-go, always described Jimin as snow. Now, snow can be fierce, as we, through our ice apocalypse, well know.
yeah, snow can be scary.
It can be scary, it can be dark and spiky and whatnot, but it can also be soft, fluffy, loving, and just wants to be played with, you know?
Oh wow.
So,
It could be sparkly.
Yeah.
beautiful.
So in my mind, he has always been snow, but not just, soft and fluffy, but also the fierce storms that come with it. Like,
Yes.
don't tick off Elsa, because she gonna come over and,
Yeah, this
So
is true.
he's those two things, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about Jimin. It's
Yeah.
just-
He
Yeah.
do
Ooh.
have. He does have a fierce side, and I've seen
Yeah.
that. It's scary.
And that's what I meant by I thought, because of what we have seen emerge from him over the past few months or 6 months or so, that maybe he had softened that up, or it had disappeared altogether. And then I thought, you really don't lose that core bit that we have seen in him since the very beginning, since we met him. And then I saw it emerge, just not too long ago. And yeah, he still has that in him. He still has an icy.
I
in
think
him.
that everybody
He
can
does.
tell that about him too, just because he's so transparent and expressive. That he laughs the easiest. He's the most friendly. He's the
That's
most
one of my
open.
favorite things from Jimin.
But
is
you
his
can
laugh.
also tell if you piss him off, he's not going to
Yeah, it's
hesitate
scary.
Yeah.
to get scary about
Yeah.
it. Like, I can imagine in a normal setting, I feel like him and Yoongi would be the first to throw fists without thinking. I'm just saying.
Wow, I just had that image in my head.
Exactly. I think that they would be the first to, without thinking at all, just to go flying in. with
So
them.
I had the image of when they did
Especially
the
if you bother the
Halloween
other members.
with the zombies, and
Yeah.
Yoongi was the first one to be like,
Yeah,
you can put his
like
fist up
that.
first. He was like, what? What's
That's
going
because
on?
Yoongi's a street boy.
Yeah,
Let's be
yeah,
honest.
but then no, I
Because
could
he's from the
see.
D.
Yeah.
I could see Jimin like doing it out of anger, like just
Exactly.
really like
Once he gets angry.
if I gotta.
So you know how, sidestep, how Hobie's a coward.
Yeah.
An adorable, adorable coward.
The cowardly lion.
So I always imagine the guys and I at a theme park, because I love theme parks, right? Hobie would be the person I would want to ride the roller coaster with,
just to like.
but Jimin would be the person I would want to just stroll through the theme park with and try different things with it, because he's that kind of embodiment of just joy.
Oh, now I'm picturing Japan Disney.
He's the kind of
Yeah.
he's the member I would want to just stroll with,
Well,
right?
Jimin is also very adventurous.
I know,
He's
that's why I
very
want to.
adventurous.
For sure.
That's exactly why I want to be the one on the ground doing different things with him. But Hobie would be
Yeah.
the roller coaster.
In a zombie situation, it would be Namjoon, Jin, and Hobie hiding behind Jimin, Jungkook,
Jimin
and
and
Yoongi.
Jungkook.
Like, they would go right to the front, and like clockwork, like the rest of them would go to the back and be like, "Whoa!"
all they would have to do is mimic Yoongi's bob and weave. Old man bob and weave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, because that old man Bob and Weave is gonna get you out of it, man.
It
It's like,
is.
how?
Speaking of, Jimin and Yoongi's interactions make me laugh the most, just because they're not exactly opposite, but Yoongi is very like, do not touch me, do not. But Jimin's like, if you say that, it makes me want to hug you more.
I think Tay beat him in that. Tay just
But that's why they get along so
Yeah.
well.
I do love seeing Yoongi have patience with Jimin. It's adorable. He's like, I see you, puppy. Just it's like Miyako with Harley. You know? It's like I see you. Okay, I see you. Now just stay there. I see you. But just stay there.
Yeah, he just like, it's like he just picks up Jimin and just puts him back in his seat.
Yes.
Safe.
While you're holding them, you
Yeah.
just look in your face, and then you finally put them back in.
Yeah, and the next 5 minutes he's back in your face. Like, didn't I just put you in your seat?
Yeah.
It is like, it makes me laugh the most. But while we're speaking on Jimin, I want to briefly touch on how much I love Jimin's friendship with Tae. I think that they are just the most purest, cutest, sweetest friendship ever. Because I think that they're just so real. Like,
They
you
are.
can tell how much they love each other, but they are very honest about how much they bicker,
Yeah.
how much they
I
fight.
love how they expressed that time, and that had to have been the hardest time for them to even
Exactly.
express that time that they got into it over something so simple, but it was deep for them. It was deep for them.
I think they're
and
both
it stayed
very
with them.
emotional, and I think that definitely plays into it. Like, they
Yeah.
understand each other well because they're both very emotional and expressive, but that will also lead to, like, you know, heated fights before they got more mature, because they were really young when, like, the whole dumpling thing and everything else happened. They were pretty young, and they talked about that before, and it makes sense. But now that they're older, of course, they're not going to fight as much. But
So
They're definitely soulmates. Go ahead.
we know the song that they had, but in my mind, ever since it came out, Blue and Gray is their friendship. I can't repeat the lyrics, but just the sound of it. I every time I listen to it, I think of both of them. So I think that that's a representation of their unity.
What I notice about their friendship too is that they're very in tune to each other.
yes.
Like when Jimin comes in the room, Tae is quick to notice him, and if there's something wrong, he's quick to address it. And
They
vice
said they're
versa,
soulmates for a
Jimin
reason.
is quick to notice if something is wrong with Tae, and they address it. Like they're just without saying words. Though.
Yeah, because they honestly address it in their own way.
Yeah,
and
without saying words.
If you're not that particular army, you will not notice it. It's very subtle because
It's
they
very
address it in their
subtle.
own way. And if you're not that particular army, you may not notice it.
Because they both have high intuition, so I think that they're the kind of people and the kind of friends that can just look at each other and, like, say a bunch of things in words. Like, say if some kind of tense situations going on, they're both in the room, they would just look at each other and have, like, a whole conversation and be agreed on what to do.
And you can tell that they genuinely value each other's friendship. They genuinely value each other's friendship. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to also mention Jimin's little tiny hands and his pinky and how
He
always
said
holding
it
his hand.
grew. He said his hands grew a little bit.
Well, so in his defense, every man thinks something has grown on him.
Okay.
I don't know how to take that.
I know. Let's just keep going. Back to
Yes,
the end.
his hands are adorable.
I love
Everything
seeing his
about
little
Jimin is
hands. I just want
adorable.
it makes you want to hold them, which I think works in his
Mochi.
favor.
So I'm just gonna put it out there because since Sarah said hold your hand, I don't know if you guys are afraid to have a fan meet in America, but I'm gonna tell you right
You
now,
went there.
a lot of Army has learned a lot of Korean, and we're ready.
And you guys have learned a lot of English, so
We're
don't
ready.
fear us anymore.
Yeah, we want a real fan meet like they have in Korea. I'm throwing it out there because I'm a little jealous.
And we have
lot jealous.
proven
My God.
we've proven that we know how to respect, we know how to protect, and we will behave ourselves.
Shoot, we earned it.
She couldn't even say that with a straight face.
But
y'all.
on the
She couldn't even
real,
say that.
guys, we earned this fan meet. We earned the fan meet. You need to have a fan meet.
Earned it.
I can guarantee
Here.
that even if we lose it, we're not going to make any physical contact with you while we do
Oh,
it.
absolutely,
We'll lose it over here.
Yeah, we'll lose it in the
Absolutely over
corner.
here.
But yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I think we have definitely earned it, and I'm just saying that this is something that Army desperately wants, but I don't know if anybody's ever voiced that to you. So I'm voicing that now in this moment in space and time that Army in America would like to have a real fan meet where we go down the aisle and you sign our album and we talk to you for 10 seconds and move to the next one.
And we've earned it.
We have definitely
Skeet
earned
said-
it.
Like Zoe said, we've earned it. We've earned it.
Bottom line is expand your horizons when it comes to family. Don't just stay in Japan and Korea at this point. You need to go to other countries, i.e. not just America, but every army has earned a fan meet.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
Y'all
so
better show up.
of
or
course
we do.
we want you to go where it's safe at. So, but what we mean is that we
So when this pandemic goes away in 50 years.
We better see you.
We need to be able to see you face to face and talk.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't get to talk to us. Like, anyway, we've expressed it.
But so Jimin, yes, you have tiny hands. It's something that you just gotta accept.
But they're beautiful.
They're beautiful. They're adorable.
Are you ready for letters to
Baby
Jimin?
Yes, we're ready for letters to Jimin. I will start it because I want to just clarify. I did not gym out. I just gymmed over.
That's
Okay.
not a thing.
That's not how it works.
That's a thing.
It's not.
It doesn't even sound right.
That's a thing.
Doesn't even sound
People.
right.
Anyway,
Gym sideways, I don't think that.
Jimin, I don't know how anyone could not love you. It's just it's impossible. You're the most lovable person that I've ever seen. I think that you have worked hard to become the artist that you are today, and it shows. It shows. I admire your love for your brothers. I admire your love for Army. I admire your love for family. I admire the love you have for yourself. You are a wonderful, wonderful person. And I don't want you doing any more changing. No more changing. No more changing.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy, 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 healthy. Eat and drink lots and lots and lots.
Play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll go next. Speaking on that, I really love just observing the boys like in their natural habitat in the soup. And speaking on that, I really enjoyed seeing just how friggin' much Jimin slept, and how it's just like, don't wake him up, just let him sleep more.
My
He would
goodness.
just look so comfy and so just. I felt that sleep
At
watching
peace.
him. I felt like I was resting
Yeah.
watching him sleep. I just love everything about you, Jimin, and you just put such a big smile on my face when I see you. And I just love what you bring to the group. You bring, this whole group is chaos. Let's be honest about that.
Organized chaos.
They're just chaos, but I really love, like Mimi said, the sophistication you bring to the group. I think that you just really pull everyone together.
Sophistication.
I said he's
That's what we need at the source.
Yes, I think that there's just something so unique that you bring to the group as well. And just like everyone else said, please stay healthy. Know that we love you. I know you know that we love you.
Yeah.
I know you know that. And yeah, I just want to just see more of you in the future. And just like Mimi said, don't change.
Yeah. Because you're more than just visuals.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the only thing I would say in the end is every time I watch a V Live from you, you are constantly, and this is not a criticism, this is just from the heart. You all do this, but I find myself doing this with you the most. You are constantly checking out yourself to try and perfect yourself. You're like, do I look all right? Do I look all right? Am I looking all right? Am I looking all right? Let me fix this. Let me fix this. Baby, you look perfect every single time.
Golly, you do.
You look perfect every single time. It does not matter how you appear before us. And I'm not going to mention the infamous Live where you disappeared for 5 minutes. Oops. I did just mention that. But, I mean, come on. We've seen you in all kinds of situations, looking all kinds of ways. And we just want to be with you. Just talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment in the soup when he was leaning on Hobie, and Hobie commented, "If you keep leaning like that, I'm gonna poot on you."
Yeah.
And I mean,
we've seen them all in all kinds of situations. They have from the very beginning been so candid and so honest and so free and open with us. And so we just talk to us when you're on vlogs and V Lives with us. Just talk. We just want you to be still and talk to us.
It's impossible for you not to look beautiful.
Yeah, because we're at the stage where we're so connected with you that judging doesn't play a role.
It
We're
doesn't.
not looking at how perfect your hair is or how wonderful your skin is. We're just looking at you for who you are as a person, as a human being.
Exactly.
So we are that connected. So yeah, I agree with you completely. You don't have to be perfect for us.
So back to my letter.
Oh, Oh, sorry. Girl, we infringed all in that letter.
So anyway, yeah. So just talk to us. That's what I want. I just want you to, for all of you guys. But yeah, for you, I find myself the most going, okay, now be still and just talk to us. Tell us why you're here. So that and keep being you, man. I love it. I love the transition throughout the Boys to Men stage that you have made, and being true to yourself, or at least that's how I view it. That's how I see it. I see that you have emerged to being the true you, and still on that path of discovering and being the true you. If that is the case, keep evolving as long as you're being true and letting us in on that. Thank you so much for letting us in on that, sharing it with us, and keep doing so, and keep being that great human that you've been to your brothers and to us. Thank you.
Speaking of the V Live, Jimin is the only one who flirts with us and lets us flirt back.
That's true.
He's the only one who flirts with us and lets us flirt back.
Actually, or openly, because, I mean, Cookie does a lot of flirting.
I don't want to talk about Cookie today.
Okay. Well, anyway, I digress. But, yeah, you do. Thank you, brother. And then as you flirt with others.
Army.
As you flirt with everybody else around you, we are privy to that, too. Thank you. Love it. Okay, keep it up.
Okay, so my last thing for you, Jimin, is I just want to acknowledge your strength, because we've talked a lot about your insecurities. When you have an insecurity, it doesn't go away. You learn to deal with it and overcome it, but it's still within you, and you fight it every day. So I just want to acknowledge the strength that you have in you, because we watched you go through it in the dark depths of it, and you are who you are today because of that. So, yeah, right on.
Strong.
All right.
Beautiful,
Well, now that
powerful,
we've rambled about
intellectual.
Jimin.
And he's good at math. I just want to throw that out there. All right.
Now
you know Jimin.
Apparently he's good at math.
He is good at math.
Thank
If
you
you
so
don't know,
much
now
for
you know.
listening. Make sure to tune in to our channel,
Please tune in.
WWARMYTV. And thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys in the next one.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.